Hello, welcome to BA Sales on the Kennel Kelp Keynote blog, and this is a third in a series of product update videos that I'm doing pertinent to my new BA Sales Kennel Kelp Aquaterra Clay equine products. I talk about in the blog, in my Blog Talk radio show, the line's devised of three core products: my equine hoof butter, my equine boo-boo butter, and my relax aromatherapy product. I've talked about these in a couple of previous blog episodes, and as I said, I've done a couple of previous product videos. The product that I talked about before in the other two videos and the one that I have here in this tube is actually my boo-boo butter. You can check out the recipe on my website, Holistic Supplements page. This that I have in my hand has my kennel kelp and my Aquaterra clay in this prototypical sample. That's the one that I really want to get into Farrier's hands, both here in Maine and the New England area, but nationwide. And I talked about in the blog how at my manufacturer at the parent company, I've had Kathy Kennel, VidCac, on my talk show before. There's an archival episode in this blog that you can click on that icon to listen to that show. But I'm working with Kathy. She's using the product on her own dog with the dog butter recipe with my kelp and Aquaterra clay added. Today I talk about her assistant and head of operations for this new equine line in-house at Blissful Dog, Ashley, who I just started talking with today, is going to be helping me in producing the hoof butter, which I'm going to be getting some samples of the hoof butter, and I'll be getting that as soon as I get those prototypes. I'll be getting that into a couple of key accounts' hands pertinent to the hoof butter. As I say, this is the boo-boo butter. I've had some real good results with this already, and the boo-boo butter with the kelp and the clay is what Ashley from Blissful Dog has used on her own horses. One of her horses had ringworm, very profound around the eye. And you can see that picture of the horse over at my testimonials page. That might have even been the dog recipe previous to using my kelp and sacred clay, unique to those horses. So when she gets an opportunity to continue administering it to her own animals, and she's working with farriers in the Minnesota area, unique to the hoof butter specifically, I'll be getting prototypes of those soon. I'm looking to do a discount program for farriers at a nominal fee to try to get this product into their toolbox, respective toolboxes. This will make farriers a hero very quickly, and it will make horse owners very happy at the same time. Any horse owner that wants to contact me directly, I can walk through the program and bypass the middleman, if you will. But a farrier has a very key, integral role, as all horse owners know, in keeping your horses at a healthy, maintained level. And they would be great ambassadors, and the proof's in the pudding or proof's in the butter. If we can get it into your hands, the product speaks for itself. High efficacy, unconditional guarantee, like all of my products. Like I did in the last episode video that I did on these tubes, I'll just roll this up a little bit. This again is the boo-boo butter prototype. I got the hoof butter coming. That's the one that we're talking about in the blog. We're still trying to refine the measurements and so forth. This is why we haven't officially released it to the market yet. So we're asking for your help in sampling this out, and we'll be releasing this soon. Probably by sometimes in the confines of June. I have to confer with Kathy on that. But in any event, this has the original dog recipe. Again, you can see the dog recipe of ingredients. I'm not going to go into them here. Check it out on my Holistic Healthcare Supplements page. This has the kelp and the clay right in it. I've talked about a couple of ancillary benefits we found out already. Me being one of them, I cut myself shaving. I did a blog about that. This worked as a great septic pencil, stopped the bleeding, took the cut away immediately. That's indicative, most certainly, of the Icelandic kelp powder, but probably even more so the Aqua Terra clay. You can read all about my Aqua Terra clay over at my Aqua Terra page. I'm also working with the manufacturer, Michael King, who's also been on my Blog Talk show, of my Aqua Terra clay and my Sacred Clay products. You can see the products page. We're working with Michael as sort of an informal consultant on all of this as well, with the Aqua Terra clay input. I may be working with Michael a little bit later on with my kelp powder product as well, and devising some supplements. We may or may not go to that proverbial drawing board. We're still talking about that. But unique to horses' hoofs, we're also talking about coming up with a clay poultice. I talked about in my last video, I have this boo-boo butter prototype with the kelp and the clay in the hands of a large account of mine who races greyhounds in Florida, and they have an indigenous problem unique to the industry with sand collecting in the nails of the racing dogs. We're quite anxious to see what this will do to alleviate that problem. Excuse me. She's used my clay in a poultice before, and I talked about it extensively in the blog. In and of itself, the clay to this degree dries out too rapidly. That's indicative of the kaolin, the high natural kaolin content. I get into depth about that in another blog. So we're working on this equine poultice. And as soon as I get the prototypes of the hoof butter, we're hoping that that will alleviate the falling out aspect of the poultice. But I'll keep everybody advised on that, and I'll probably soon be offering an intensified clay of some sort that will have a more tackiness, if you will, stickiness to keep it in the hoof. But I think this butter is going to bypass that. This is why I want to get this into Farrier's hands. So I'll cut it short for today. Anybody that's interested, just contact me at my Contact Us page. I'll have more and more updates coming over the next couple of weeks, and we'll soon be releasing this. So anybody that's interested, if you want to order directly, just you know, I have my dog butters page all set up. I'm working on the equine page. You can check out on the dog butters page. You can actually make your purchase and check out through my PayPal system. If you want to participate in some special pricing or what have you, just contact me and we'll work out something with you unique to the new program. But Farriers, for sure, contact me, and we'll get this ball rolling. Always remember that BA Sales promotes good health in all animals and humans. Thanks, and I'll see you in the next edition.